Hey everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 25, Frankenmuth Mega Farm Project, episode 23. The goal today, this episode, is to get some more work done on our wood production over there and possibly clear out space for our first large lumber mill. Hopefully make enough money to buy it and get that installed and running. Now that may or may not happen, and we also want to push through to May and sell our clothes. So we're going to try to get all of that done, but who knows, and also some contracts if possible. The first thing we're going to do is finish March after we check on our fields. Currently they still fit on the screen and look good so far. Yeah, cool with that. Everything but that little chunk there, which I'm just not going to bother. I have decided that fertilizing the grass field at this point is effort. It's money, fertilizer, and cost of fertilizer and money. We're getting grass out of it. Doesn't really matter if we get a little bit less. We're just feeding sheep with it and filling up our silage stuff. It's not actually a huge deal. We don't have any weeds. Yeah, we can move on. So that is what we are going to do. We're going to go to April, and hopefully we get through April and get things done. April has a few things that could be planted, so there's a possibility we could plant some soybeans and on a new piece of land possibly, but that's really remote and wouldn't really pay off the way I want it to in terms of making our wood operation better. Anyway, here we go, off to April. April. Looks like we're spending more than we're making still on a monthly thing. So yeah, but that brings up a good idea that I already have space for down here at the bottom of 20. I've already cut off a piece of land that is actually mine, that's just sitting here going to waste. And I think I have enough to afford to put a greenhouse here. So if I put a no-touch greenhouse, or an almost no-touch, I put a 36,000, yeah, we're gonna easily have this. Maybe even possibility of putting 2 greenhouses down here, in case I do want it to be touch someday. We'll put, we want it to be set up for, yeah, room for the water. Yep, so we could set another greenhouse down over here eventually. And yeah, but now we go to our containers. We grab our old thing here. What if we turn it? Yeah, that feels a little better. And make sure it's out of the way. All right. So that's set up. Hopefully I left enough room. I think I did. So we need a water barrel. For the moment. Yeah, there we go. Make the rim color. There are no custom. Man, okay, we'll chrome them. Look at those classy chrome. No, we aren't going to chrome them because that's an extra $1,000. All right. Okay, so now we go to. Oh, we just got to go get it and park it up there. Just leave you here. I'm sure we're going to use you. Now, I'm going to actually buy a dragon or anything that's super cheap once we can afford it again. Some really super cheap vehicle. Probably not even a dragon. Probably anything that can hook up to that water barrel. And get that. That's just gonna live there. Right, we're almost back with the water barrel. So when we can afford it, we will add extensions and another greenhouse there that will live off of the extensions. Now hopefully I left myself enough room here to do this. Yes, good. So that can live there for now. And we can get that filled up, and we'll just leave this truck here until we need it. But I will be looking at getting some kind of very small vehicle. Maybe this guy, 5500. Doesn't look like he has any way of towing anything. This guy could probably, yeah, this sidekick would actually work for that. For 12,000, so that's not too bad. That has a ring pull rather than a, that has the other kind of connector. A ring hitch of some sort. That would also work, although those are more expensive. And apparently the dragon is not even for sale here, or is that listed in trucks? That's the dragon. Okay, 45,000. Yeah, we just need one of these guys. A use for the sidekick for 12,000. Park one at each greenhouse area. And well, we're kind of blocking the door, but maybe... Yeah, there we go. So we're just going to go with lettuce, and we're going to just sell it right out. For now, this is just for our little monthly money thing. We'll probably set up a second one here sometime soon, assuming I can fit one here. I think I can. And these will just run and sell as they sell. I realized I need to do some weeding. That's David's field, but this is our cotton field. But I realized I need to do some weeding on the other cotton field. The new combined field. I was going to call that 17. That's one of the fields that it was made up of. So yeah, we have some weeding to do over there. So we'll get that started, and then we can get off to the wood and Alright, he's working on that. Right, so we can go do... Oh, we gotta do some wool movements anyway. It's time to push wool. Although we may... If we start filling up our spinneries before we can afford another spinnery, then I think the plan here would be to just straight up sell some of the wool. Of course, that depends, but it still is a thing that could be done. And I need to think about, and I think I'll do that now. I'm just going to cut this off in a curve. Alright, that's good enough. Now the question is that... Okay, well this thing can't test it, so hopefully that's good enough. So we're just going to get this wool dealt with, and then we can actually go on. Alright, what I'm just want to see here is using a tool that it actually allows. Yeah, it looks like we've got a full proper curve on that corner now. And hopefully that prevents any weird adjustments that might give us an issue like we had last time. You guys didn't see it, but last time I cut this, it couldn't turn around because the wool was in the way. The mower couldn't turn around on a helper. And since I usually mow this on a helper, I was having trouble with it. So we gotta go pick up the class, and I think we might be selling some beams. Although if I'm gonna sell them every month anyway, I might as well just set them to selling. And not have to go deal with it. However, I do believe I'm going to be distributing beams at some point. I think there is something out there that produces beams. I know we're going to be producing some sort of building frames on the large greenhouse. And let's see how... That's still not empty, but I think it's just paused. I don't think it's... What are we looking at here? No silage. Lots of TMR. Out of space on the TMR. So that makes sense. Get that hay filled mostly up again. Well, now we need to have something to do with the TMR. Oh, we're really low on hay. Next month we gotta go buy some hay. But for now, we can just leave this here. The guy's still weeding over there. I feel like we need a dedicated... Actually, I'm gonna put him behind because when it comes down to it, I want the slower machine up front. Come on, then. While we're driving over here, we might as well see actually if there's anything worth making money with. There's hoeing. Yes, we will take that. That's 32 grand. What else? Still not going to do the stone picking. We'll borrow items for the weeding. Okay. Well, we got to get these guys over there before we can get that other stuff started. Otherwise, they're just going to be out in the middle of the road. Alright, we're back to doing work anyway. Although I was gonna go check on this guy here, who needs to be going on field 16, which is that one right there. That's pretty sweet. Get to work, boyo. Do your job. Looks like he's working. We can get these guys loaded. Alright, well, that's not bad. Oh, we even brought this guy. Not worth very much, but it's still a tree. Some of these big stumps are not grindable, so I'll just have to use the lumberjack mod to get rid of them. And we're at 30,000 wood. We got a ways to go. These are not the biggest trees. I've had quite a few larger ones on Riverbend. Like 13-ton trees. I don't think these grow anymore either, so it's not like I could wait and get them bigger. Alright, we've got another 10K space to fill. And the goal of clearing that more. Yeah, these stumps just don't grind. Either we need to be supplied with a bigger stump grinder, possibly one of those screw type ones, or they need to be grindable. I mean, maybe it takes longer, but it should at least indicate that it's grinding. You know, you can grind off a little corner of it, but that's it. Yeah, and I am gonna set the, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna set the beams to selling, because we're selling them every month. Now this guy could be sent to the next job. I guess we've got a little bit of stuff cleared out. That's cool. Is there a contract he can do? I'm tempted to install the new mod I saw, which has a contract refresh in it. You can press a button down here and get new contracts. Still not going to do the stone picking. Nope. Not going to do it. Oh, I was going to lumberjack down some of these. Un-stump removable stumps. On those little side chunks, I'm holding down left Alt, in order to get access to destroying the little chunk thing, because otherwise it'll just try to cut it up smaller and smaller until it finally is small enough to be destroyed. But it's just simpler to hold down your left Alt, and then you get the red disc. This is, of course, the lumberjack mod that's allowing me to do these destructions at all. Little Alt. It's not even letting me do that one. As soon as I say something. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's go sell this patch of this block of beams. All future beams for now will just be auto sold. Providing us with one less thing that needs doing. It'd probably be good to strap them down and say, well, that's not going anywhere. So they want roof plate next, which is means we got to get the cement factory going, which is a whole nother thing in and of itself. And is probably about $400,000 or $500,000 out beyond whatever else we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna have to get that going because I do want to finish this project eventually, and maybe even locate all of the collectibles that go in there, assuming the map maker wasn't lying when he said he had put them on there, or I wasn't misreading or something. I mean, there's all kinds of potential outcomes here. I think that's it for that right now. I think that well, I won't need this thing for a little bit. I gotta go over and check on all of those hoeing jobs. Make sure. So, first thing we want to do is make sure that we're properly fertilized and weeded, which we are. Wait a second. That was weird. That's a buggy interface. Right, and then looking at this, we could plant something, but got nothing to plant. If I'm going to run corn silage, though, ever, I am going to need to seriously add more of those silage, these here silage mixers, these fermenters, because I don't know where I guess it's in productions is the only place, because it's only 100,000 liters of silage, unless I can find a silage compatible extender, which I don't think we have available to us currently. Newer heap, dirty grain. Oh, that's not dirty grain. It's a dirty grain silo. But I don't think any of these actually have the capability to hold anything but grain anyway. So once these contracts are complete, we can... This one's almost done. Yeah, we're going to be able to afford another lettuce greenhouse, which will improve our overall money across the board, month by month, and all of that. So we're just going to get these contracts finished up. Alright, that's the first one done, but that's, I think, the cheaper one. Although, let's see, are there any other weeding jobs we could sneakily do before turning that in? There are. But we will go grab that one. Hopefully it works the way I think it does. Alright, we'll head off and do this one. Once 30 is done, we can move on to May, I think. That's going to be a lot of cotton harvesting. I'm thinking I might lease the John Deere cotton harvester and roll 2 at once. It depends on if I have the money at the time, probably. We might as well wash that since we're going to be washing the tractor, since we're going to be putting gas in the tractor. And then we have to think about, what's next. Go to May, we can sell all those clothes and do something big. Or big-ish anyway. Do something medium-sized. Yes, yes. I'm tugging on the hose. It's cool. Right. What is... Yeah, we're out of hay now. I mean, maybe I can go get some straw while we're waiting for 30 to complete. I feel like it's easier to come out of the thing in this direction. I don't think we're probably that low on straw, honestly. Take a look though. Mixer. Yeah, it's already full of straw. Although we're lower on silage than I'd like to be, but that's just... Oh, we're full of TMR is the issue. So if we wait just a little bit, maybe I can just go sell some TMR. Although actually, never mind, if I buy cows with the clothing money, then we can just start dumping TMR in there. We'll probably need another trailer for that. I think that trailer will be too big. Be best to have a trailer that doesn't lift. One that just pushes out the back. So I'll have to figure out what trailer that is. Go look at trailers here. I don't think this one has that mode. I think one of these guys probably does. That's a little expensive. The Kuiko. I believe the Kuiko is not a lifting trailer, if I remember correctly. And it does hold... Can it do TMR? Is that TMR? Is that the... We go look at help. Crops, greenery, products. Animals. Total mixed ration. Okay, that's what that looks like. So it looks like probably yes. Yeah, I'm guessing that will do TMR. So that's probably the one we want to go for. We're transporting TMR to the cows. That weeding is almost done. Might as well do it myself though. Might as well finish it myself. Oh, it would help if we put the tool down though. Alright. Complete. We can get paid. And have 100K in the bank. Then we can go sleep. Sleep before it gets cloudy. All right. What do we do there? Yeah, better. See about our finances. Maybe it'll tell us. So, production costs. So we came out 56,000 ahead, technically. Loans, wages, water. Yeah, we're also selling those other things. So now we look here. Those things are still above. Maybe we want to load up the barrels and bathtubs too. No. No, we don't have that much yet. But close to the Frankenmuth Farmers Market is definitely right now. Get her done. Find our. No, do we want? Yeah, we want this guy. But I think we want a flatbed again. Let's see if we can do the close on this thing. If anything, it'll just have to be multiple trips. Uh, 800K, and it gets us. Oh, we can't put cows in yet. My cow area, the cow zone. Welcome to the cow zone. Is got wheat planted in it right now, and I want to keep the wheat, so we're gonna have to let that wheat play out before we can buy cow stuff, which means I can go fully operational on the wood, or buy a really big field, or both. We're gonna have almost 1 million, so we can at least get the forwarder and the let's put this somewhere logical. How about right here? That's close enough. Alright, well, that's pretty crazy. So, maybe we'll just lift you up and let you drop another one. Come on then. There we go. I did install a mod that has a 27 foot, or no, not 27 feet. It's a forklift with an extra long forks on it so that you can actually pick up 3 in a line from the side. Alright, here we go. It looks like bam, $821,000. Alright. And while we're shopping, maybe we have contracts available. We could send that guy out to hoe on 37. I wonder, so let's look at that Tailor shop, actually. So the spinneries are still maxed out on wool, so we could still go another spinnery. The Tailor shop is still fine on clothes, so we don't necessarily need another Tailor shop yet. Another spinnery would be good. To try to get more fabric into that Tailor shop more quickly. Of course, we'll have to just put it down right there next to the other one. Although we're doing fine, $1 million a year basically on clothes, I believe. Now that and who knows how much cotton we're gonna stuff in there. We didn't quite loop on the cotton. This cotton harvest might might actually force a loop on the current. I only put cotton in the one spinnery, I think. Now I can't remember, but I think I only had cotton in this spinnery. But for the moment, we can just park up right here and have a good think. All right, if we look at pricing, that forwarder is a big one. 325. A little more for the eco track so it looks all cool. Standard windows. That guy will shove things. That guy will grab things. Yeah. And so if we, so 331 for that configuration. And then, so now we're at 431, we'll call it, leaving us 500,000. This guy would also be a potential, although it doesn't tell us how much he can lift. It tells us how much he's got, but not how much he can lift. Huh. That's not much more than the other guy. And he's got a big old grab on him. That is interesting. I think the forwarder is better though. All right, so if we forwarder and winch, we spent 400,000. We are going to need the harvester eventually. This harvester is also really cool and actually does bigger trees. I'm not sure if he strips as well. So that would spend all of our money and we wouldn't even use it right away. Okay, and then I was talking about cows. So we could get the large cow barn. And what I was thinking was one here and another one here. And then we actually do take up a bunch of that space. Not all of it, but a bunch of it. But factories we've been wanting. Another spinnery. We could throw down another spinnery. Exactly the way we had the other one. And as lined up as possible. Is this one smaller than that one? No, they're the same size. Weird. It looks smaller. Anyway. Unless that is a smaller one. Alright, but the sawmill, 300. We can get a big sawmill. We can just invest heavily in our wood. And then... Right, we were talking about using some of that cotton and that wool on a rope maker, though, as well. But we have a lot of extra wood that we need to get through. So, I think we go over here and start installing big sawmills. We could also do the cement factory instead. We could get a cement factory, a sawmill, and a debris crusher. Start making roof plates. Start making all of those other things. And use our current... We don't have... We actually don't need the forwarder now that I'm thinking about it, because we have the winch. And most of these trees are never going to need the forwarder. We could just get the bigger winch and call it good. The bigger yarder. We have the winch on the truck, which is on the tractor, which is 6 tons. And we could get the yarder, which is 3 tons, and drag trees down with the bigger yarder and call it good. Yeah, I think we're gonna go like that. So we're gonna put down a sawmill. I'm gonna put it right here. We're going to snap it. Yep. We now have a big sawmill. And then we can go cement. And where are we going to put the cement? Probably right along here somewhere. Okay, so where do we deliver? We deliver to those bins right there. Yeah. And we pick up on that side. Over there, okay. Now, part of the plan was that we would feed these things off of go a little further back this way, though. Right. We go cement factory. Boom. Oh, I just got an achievement. Well-oiled machine. Alright, and then we go debris crusher, which I believe was fairly cheap. Right. I don't know if there's a bigger one. There doesn't seem to be. And that is going to emit things right there. So if we just get him set up to line up with that, with enough room to pull a truck through. And then we drive this guy over. Well, that should just operate. I can hope. Yeah. Now, every time I boot up, I'll need to come over here and get this going. But it's fine. And if I wanted to be more... this is realistic, so that's not an issue. If I wanted to be more... I'm just making roof plates right now until we need other stuff. But as I was saying, if I wanted to be more manual about it, I could lift this thing up and let that run and go bring a truck and drive it around and go dump it. Yep. And look, we've already got one whole roof plate. Alright, time to go over to the... wood area. Yep, alright. Now, oh, I'm gonna need a tractor for this. And I'm gonna need that. Okay, well, we'll bring this guy around. Although really I should have just probably a smaller one. Although having this power does help. Definitely need something that can actually pull 6 tons. And boy, easy come, easy go, right? We were at 900 something thousand just 5 minutes ago. But now, of course, we have a fully operational and mostly automatic cement factory setup. And a big lumber mill. I'm going to leave the small one there for now. Okay, so we could drag all of those into that area using that guy, but I think we're better off with clearing out the rest of that other spot of deciduous. Maybe even planting some more deciduous over there, but some bigger ones. There are some really big deciduous trees that you can grow. And here's where we say thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you later.